Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? I hope you guys had a great weekend and you're off to a good start this week. I know everybody's been asking, no, not everybody. One or two people have been asking me, where in the world is Average Joe Trader? Where are you? I haven't seen you in several days, a week. Where are you? What have you been doing? You've been so secretive the last week or two. What's happening? Well, here's where I am. I'm not in the Caribbean. I'm not at the beach. I'm not out sailing. I'm not in Vegas. I'm not living it up in some spa resort. I am right here. I have joined the Bear Bull Traders team. Awesome group of people. You just don't know how stoked I am to be a part of a team. I've been a one-man band for so long. I've taken it as far as I can go. I'm splintered. I've chopped myself into so many different pieces to try and provide as much as I could. I just got to the point where I couldn't split anymore. So what I decided to do is pick up my home, put it on a truck, drive it to the Bear Bull Traders compound and drop it. And it's basically what I've done. Still the same guy, still doing the same thing, still trading the same, still sharing my platform every morning, every day. Still doing the same stuff, but with a whole lot of incredible people behind me that's going to enhance everybody's learning experience. So it is just incredible. So I'm glad my house is there. I'm glad everything has been anchored down. I mean, these guys have helped me, put that foundation in the ground, got my house anchored to it. Like I said, incredible group of people. Today was the first day that I was in there. Incredible day. I was so excited. My trading kind of showed it in the morning. We're going to look at that, talk about that. But got our emotions in check, finally got settled in, and ended up with a really good day. Some really good trades. If you hung out with me the whole day, if you were there aftermarket, we had a nice aftermarket breaking news trade on BBBY and a nice earnings trade on LYFT. Really, a couple of guys took ATVI, which was another earnings stock we were looking at. Can't trade all of them, but we did have some really good stocks to look at. We'll talk about that here in a few, but just want to say, I'm extremely happy. So if you want to join us, this is where I'm going to be. Come on over, check out the resources at bearbulltraders.com. Andrew has created, more than a community. This is a compound. And I mean that in the most positive way. So come check us out. That's where I'll be. So BA, first trade we took today. I really could have taken profit on this, but I kind of waited because I thought I would at least get another test to see if we could get 216 out of this. I got in at 214.78 on the break of red to green, and the pre-market high was pretty much a double thing. So I got in early before the 5-minute candle. 5-minute candle opened, made a nice push up. Really should have locked in this profit on this quick pop up, but it pulled back, never came back. Ended up taking a nice little hit here, just like yesterday started. Not yesterday, just like last week, kind of started the day off with a nice little hit, but I know it's just the beginning of the day. Your strategy works. Excuse me. The strategy works if you execute it consistently, and that's what I did today. Just executed it consistently. Had a little struggle, and the end game today turned out to be awesome. So BA was not nice to me. Really should have taken profit here. Not wait for the next pop, and got burned on that. Next trade was Airbnb. Made a couple of bucks on this. Not what I wanted. Shorted it here. Was a decent base hit. What this was, here was a 5-minute opening range low, 5-minute opening range high. Obviously, I was looking long at the open. It flipped the field on me. Sold off. We recovered the 200 moving average. Kind of reclaimed the opening range low. And then we sold back off. Once we came back through the bottom of this channel, what this did was it put in a channel, an intraday channel. My philosophy is don't trade inside this intraday channel unless you have an amazing profit window, because 9 times out of 10 it's not going to reach maturity inside of this. I wait for it to break outside the channel and confirm if it's after 10 o'clock. That's what we did. Obviously, in Ed's fashion, it bounced, but it stayed below the resistance level here, and eventually it worked its way down, hit my first target, and that was it. Nice little base hit. Took some of the sting out of the first loss of the day, and we were ready to move on. So we get to Facebook here, pretty much the same move. Here's the opening range low. We kind of dipped below it here. We did put in this channel. I didn't mark it, but should have put in this channel. It bounced, sold off, and it kind of broke down again. So we took out the low here, and it looked like it put in another little intraday channel, which kind of coincided with this. So I got short, ended up bouncing, and technically the trade was dead when it reclaimed the 20. I got out of it, got up to go use the bathroom. I wish I could take credit for this next trade, but I can blame Lucky the Cat on this, because I get up, go to the bathroom, not 30 seconds later, she gets in my chair and stands on the keyboard and puts me in the trade. And it actually worked. So I was able to take some more sting out of the losses from the day. So intraday was kind of a struggle. Hit the first target here, and ended up having to close this out once the market closed. I wasn't going to hold it because I had some earnings trades I was looking at. I was looking at LYFT. I was looking at ATVI. What else was I was looking at? What's the other stocks? Zillow Z. I was looking at. So I was looking at all of those. And in the meantime, while I was waiting for those stocks to actually start moving, we had some breaking news on BBBY. So I took that trade in another account, in my IB account, because I didn't want to be in two trades in the same account at one time. I was trying to keep that stuff separate. And so we just kind of waited and waited. But, here's LYFT. Here's the earnings announcement. Just like we always do, we let it announce. 5-minute candle prints. And I draw the high and the low. I didn't have to draw the low because we never kind of broke down. But here's the high, that the first 5-minute candle on the announcement. And once the conference call kicked off, we started to see a little bit of action in this. And so once we broke the high, just like 5-minute opening range trade, we get in once it breaks. And I just started taking profit at strategic points along the way. Right up to the 50-day moving average on the daily. All right, so, which is right here. So that was as perfect of a trade as you can do. Now, when you look at my BBBY trade, you can see why I was focused on making sure I stretched this trade out to try and get the maximum amount I could get on it. All right, so we closed out this account. This is the one that had the Facebook loss. The second trade I took kind of eliminated most of that loss. Was only down 136. 489 on BA. Again, I was trying to take, $1.50. Got a little bit on the other side of $1.50, and ended up losing 489.36 on it. But LYFT, beautiful earnings trade here. I maximized the potential on this. 770.78 added with the 197 I did on Airbnb for that base hit. Look at where we ended up. With all of the mess I had that morning, I stayed consistent with my strategies, didn't change up anything, stayed focused. If we do this every day, our account will grow. We're working with a small account. I traded 500 shares of LYFT. This is a $40 stock. It doesn't take a whole lot of buying power to be able to trade 500 shares of a $40 stock. It doesn't. And, so small accounts can do it. Even if you can only trade 250 shares or 200 shares of this, based on your account size, you still would have grown it a nice percentage-wise. You still would have added to your account. That's what it's all about. Everything is relative. All right, last trade. This was the BBBY. This is the one I took in IB. And you could see, as soon as, here was the announcement candle. I always wait for the first announcement candle. And then I look to see, is it going to pull back? A lot of times we get a 50% retracement, and then it starts to rip back. It didn't quite do 50%, maybe 25% retracement. But here's what I was looking at. I was looking at this gap on the daily chart. I'm like, you know what? With this news, we should get enough fuel to fill this gap, to take it through the 50-day and at least fill this gap. I was expecting it to sell off once it hit this, and then maybe I could catch a bounce on the 50-day and try to run it up. I had no idea this was going to continue to run. I got in here once it confirmed, cleared that gap, nailed that gap. I had my chest stuck out. I was so proud of myself. And then the next thing you know, this thing rips up 8 more points, 9 more points. Just like that. Well, actually, almost 10 points. I got out at 22. Looks like it almost went to 32. And never really pulled back to give me a chance to get back in like I thought it would. So to be so happy, this really broke my heart. Really broke my heart. But locked in some profit on this. Let's see, how much did we make? 1381.38. Only traded, let's see, 500 shares of a $19 stock. Small account stuff. 500 shares. Could have traded 1,000 shares of this, but you know, it's aftermarket, can't put in a safety stop. You know, gotta do everything kind of manually in terms of protecting any washes that you might get. So only went in 500 shares, but imagine if I had stretched this out to at least, let's say I stretched it out to 25, how much more I would have added to this, or just kept piecing out till I had nothing left. I just made I made a decision based on the chart, but this was as conservative of a decision you can make. I just didn't think we were going to get past this, because look at this, look at the daily pivot here. Look at the daily pivot right here. I don't have it marked, but look at that. I would not have thought, if I saw this tomorrow, I would probably trade it the same way, because I would not think we would rip this gap open the way we did. But it is what it is. I did grab some profit, you know, almost 1,400 bucks. I'm happy. It was a really strong end to, you know, an exciting and a very emotional day. You know, this was the first day of the rest of my life, my trading life. So it was pretty significant. So that's it, guys. Going forward, I'm pretty sure my recaps will be posted to the BBBY YouTube site. There may be 1 or 2 here until we get everything great, you know, kind of moved over. It takes a while. You know, you move the house, but now you got to set everything back up and hang it where you want it and hook everything up. So that's what we're in the process of doing now. And just hang on, guys. You are in for a hell of a ride. So have a great night, and I will catch you guys in the morning.